I have been saying that this Championship playoff race will go down to the final week, and now that it has, hello guys and welcome back to yet another video. We are looking at the Championship playoff race today as the EFL Championship season heads into the final week, and oh goodness me, I feel sick. The nerves, honestly. I've got a whole week to wait until we find out what happens. There is a lot to talk about. Before we get into it, be sure to share your thoughts down below, whether you're a Coventry fan, a Bristol City fan, a Middlesbrough fan, a Millwall fan, a Blackburn fan, so on and so forth. Get your comments down below. Feel free to share your predictions for who's going to make the playoffs in 5th and 6th place. And before we do really get into the video, make sure to drop a like. Let's go for 2,000. It takes 2 seconds and every like really does help this channel out. So hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe as well. We're closing in on 100,000 subscribers, so be sure to subscribe before the season ends. It doesn't take 2 seconds. Get involved and let's get into this. So this is the lay of the land with just 1 week to go. Obviously, I've coloured in the teams that are in the top 4 that have already secured a top 4 place, and West Brom are the final team not to be able to make it in the table. So it's going to be 2 from 5, and when we come on to the fixtures in a minute, that's what makes things very interesting. The first thing I do need to distinguish here is this is a very low bar for the playoffs this season. We could have a team getting into the top 6 with 67 points, which would be a record low. I think the lowest we've seen a team finish in the playoffs ever is, I think it must be 68 points. Was that Leicester City? We have seen a couple years ago Sunderland getting in there with 69 points, but usually you need 70, 75 in that region to finish 5th or 6th. And look at this. I mean, like I say, Coventry City could do it with 67 points. What's fascinating here is some teams that are involved that we didn't think would be at this stage. I mean, Millwall have come from nowhere and really capitalised on the fact that it's a low bar this season. And if Millwall win their final game, they could make it. Blackburn Rovers, who we were all pointing at saying, oh God, what a mess, a couple of weeks ago, they're back in the equation now. And it'd be crazy if Blackburn went on to get in the playoffs. Imagine if they got promoted as well. It is possible, so we're going to talk about it. Let's go to the fixtures then, and let's get them up and move the table down there. So, first things first, Bristol City do have a game in hand, and that is tonight on the day I'm doing this video. It's away at Leeds. Now, yes, Leeds have already been promoted and they've been partying, but they're going to want to take this seriously and try and get that win because they want to win the Championship title. It's in their hands. For Bristol City, if they can get one more win, they have made it in the playoffs. So they've got 2 chances. The first one's difficult, of course, away at Leeds. And then, as you can see there, on the Saturday, they play their final home game of the season against Preston. The thing that's a bit frustrating for Bristol City now is, when we looked at this a few weeks ago, that fixture looks nice because Preston, mid-table, not much to play for. Preston have been dragged into the relegation battle, and they probably do need at least a draw at Bristol City. The thing is, though, if Bristol City don't win either of these games, they are at risk of being overtaken. Now, if we just start with Bristol City and say they were to draw both games, that's probably enough, because look at the goal difference. Millwall are not going to win 9-0 at Burnley on the final day and overtake them. So if Bristol City do get a draw against Leeds tonight, that is a massive step towards being there. They'd probably only need a draw against Preston. The risk with if Bristol City were to only get 2 draws though is they might not get 5th place. It'd pretty much wrap up a top 6 place getting 2 draws, but Coventry could overtake them to get 5th. As I say, for Bristol City, either 1 win or 2 draws does the trick. 1 win guarantees 5th place, 2 draws pretty much guarantees a top 6 place. They could lose both, or just draw 1 and lose 1 and still get over the line though, because look at the difficulty of the fixtures for the teams below them. Let's start with Coventry versus Middlesbrough. I'm going to this game on Saturday and I am incredibly nervous. There is a lot to unpack with this one. I will do the Championship predictions with Sophie tomorrow, so look out for those, and then do look out for the match vlog on Saturday. I've said, as I say, for ages, I think it's going to go down to the final game, and it is. Look at the state of this. So Coventry have it in their hands. I do prefer Coventry at home. Coventry have a very good record against Middlesbrough. We haven't lost to them in about 7 or 8 games, and we've won the last 3 or 4 against them, and we always tend to score 3 past them. If Coventry win this, we're guaranteed to finish in the playoffs. A draw could be enough for Coventry, so long as Millwall and Blackburn don't win. We can't afford one of them winning if we're going to draw, because that would mean they could make the overtake. And then finally, if Coventry lose this game, we definitely don't make it. And Middlesbrough have to win. And it's not guaranteed that a win for Middlesbrough will get them in there because of the traffic in front of them. Millwall and Blackburn definitely have the hardest tasks because they're away at top 3 teams and they have to win and hope a result goes their way elsewhere. It's not impossible we could see a switcheroo, but I would imagine the bookies would make Bristol City and Coventry City the favourites right now, possibly followed by Middlesbrough, because you would imagine if Middlesbrough beat Coventry, there's a strong chance that, like I say, Millwall or Blackburn don't win. But the thing is, anything can happen in one game. I get that some people are going to be like, there's no chance Millwall win, there's no chance Blackburn win. In one game, anything can happen. I know that Burnley are going for the title. I know that Sheffield United want good form heading into the playoffs. But it's not like they're in that top 2 race anymore. There's not as much on the line for those teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Millwall or Blackburn cause some problems. I expect there to be drama. Here's how I see it playing out. My personal opinion, I reckon Leeds do beat Bristol City tonight. If Bristol City can get a draw though, that'd be interesting. If Bristol City win, then it's just 4 teams fighting for one place because Bristol City will already be there. Preston are going to make life difficult for Bristol City, but I do like Bristol City at home. So I have a feeling Bristol City get the job done probably at Ashton Gate. Millwall did beat Burnley earlier this season. You know, they've got a very good record against those top 3. They've beaten all of them at some point this season. So could Millwall do it? I wouldn't be surprised. They're going to have to do very well, though, because Burnley have not lost at home all season. But let's see. Coventry and Middlesbrough. Coventry have it in our hands. So long as Coventry win, we don't have to worry about the results elsewhere. I would say if we draw, I think there's about a 70% chance that could be enough for Coventry. I think that's because there's probably about a 15% chance Millwall win or Blackburn win, meaning the remainder, 70%, a draw would be enough for Coventry. We could also see this going down to goal difference. Say if Bristol City just finish with 67 points, Coventry could finish with 67 points. I mean, if Middlesbrough beat Coventry, Middlesbrough finish with 67 points as well. We could see a couple of teams joint up on 68 points as well. Blackburn and Bristol City as well. So very, very close. The goal difference, there's not a lot in it. It suits Middlesbrough if things go down to goal difference. Millwall, not so much. Let's talk about Sheffield United versus Blackburn. Blackburn's a weird one. It really does seem funny that they're in this position, but we've got to take them seriously because they could do it. They've pulled out some really good wins recently. They smashed Millwall a couple of weeks ago and no one else has been beating Millwall at the minute. It's just crazy though, isn't it? You know, Blackburn, we thought were out of this a couple of weeks ago, and as I say, it just goes to show the volumes of how inconsistent this playoff race has been. For Coventry, like I say, I will be at the game on Saturday and I am being told to urge other Coventry fans to wear sky blue for this one, so there you go, I've passed it on. Let's all wear sky blue, and I tell you what, we've got to get behind them. I know there's an injury crisis and Coventry City don't go into this game with lots of momentum, but there's, you know, plenty of unhappiness at Middlesbrough at the minute, and we've got to try and capitalise on that. As I say, I prefer us at home, and here's something that might try and make you feel a bit better about the result on Saturday when we lost to Luton. A draw wouldn't actually have changed much. If you look at this, I know I'd have preferred not losing to Luton, but if you add one more point on to Coventry, it doesn't make a massive difference in the grand scheme of things. A defeat to Middlesbrough would still knock us out of the playoffs even if we'd drawn that game, and we still have to beat Middlesbrough to secure it even if we had drawn that game. So that's what I'm going to try and take away. Not that I wanted to lose to Luton, but it's not the end of the world. Losing to Middlesbrough would be the end of the world. This is the one now. This is the one. It's all going to come down to this. Share your thoughts down below, guys. As I say, my early hunch before I do my predictions tomorrow is Bristol City and Coventry get the job done. But I must say, it's very, very close now. And the fact we've got multiple teams putting the pressure on, if Millwall score early at Burnley, that will set off some alarm bells at the CBS and at Ashton Gate. and then maybe anything could happen. As I say, we're all playing teams with something to play for in some way, shape or form. Preston are trying to stay up. Leeds United, first of all, of course, trying to win the title. Burnley are trying to win the title. Coventry are playing Middlesbrough, so they've both got something to play for. And then Sheffield United, as I say, they're not going to want to roll over at home to Blackburn. Let me know your thoughts. That is my early preview into who is going to finish 5th and 6th. In the grand scheme of things, it might not matter a lot. Sheffield United or Sunderland might go on to win the playoffs. But, you know, let's not talk about that now. Once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. I know it's not necessarily a lottery. It's not like we all have a 1 in 4 chance of going on to do it. But you do have a chance. Once you're in there, you're 3 games from the Premier League. And yeah, things can happen. Strange things can happen. So let's see. Thank you for watching, guys. As I say, share your thoughts down in the comments. I am nervous. We've still got a few days to wait until Saturday. I'm going to be biting my nails all week. It's horribly nerve-wracking, but be sure to support me. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Try and help me get through this week. We've got loads of content coming, and as I say, look out for the weekly championship predictions coming back tomorrow with Sophie, the final one of the regular season. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon. Peace out.